Baker.
Today, we're here to talk to you about the pancreas.
What is the pancreas, you ask?
Well, let me start with the name. It's Greek, like a lot of medical stuff. Pan means all, and kreis means flesh. The pancreas is a soft like pinky here. Can't tell, but
Lobulated organ.
cut the thing. That just means that it's kind of lumpy.
See? Lumpy.
Oh, this is terrible. Okay.
The pancreas is also uncapsulated. That means that there's no protection on the organ. What if Panky had no skin?
Oh, that's so gross. It lies nestled in between the funny sounding organ called the duodenum and the stomach. Oh yeah, the adult pancreas is about 6 inches long and weighs about 3 grams, which is equivalent to about 3 paper clips.
3 paper clips, huh? That's interesting
That's
stuff.
what I said.
So, why do you need a pancreas? The pancreas is an endocrine and an exocrine organ. Both these systems use secretions to send signals to the rest of the body.
Endocrine means that the secretions or hormones go right into your blood. Exocrine means that the hormones are secreted into the ducts.
The pancreas has 2 of these such ducts. As an endocrine organ, its function is to maintain the normal state of glucose in the bloodstream. Maintaining normal state is also called homeostasis. Did you know that?
No, but I did know its exocrine function plays a large role in the digestion of your food.
Really? I don't know. That's crazy.
Just letting you know.
Stuff. Okay, let's go back to Panky here. The pancreas has 5 parts: the head, the neck, the uncinate process, the body, and the tail.
My favorite.
The head and the neck lie in the C loop of the duodenum. The head contains the GDA and the common bile duct. See? GDA, common bile duct.
Oh yeah. We'll talk more about those later. The uncinate process is an extension of the lower half of the head, kind of like his mouth here, not the tongue, mouth part.
And it varies in size.
Yep.
The body and the tail lie mostly behind the stomach. The entire pancreas lies to the front of the aorta, IVC, and the portal vein.
So we know that organs don't work without blood. So how exactly does the blood get to and from the pancreas?
I don't know, let's find out. I'm glad you asked. The pancreas is fed by a few different sources. Remember we mentioned the GDA earlier? That stands for the gastroduodenal artery. It's a branch of the common hepatic artery. The GDA splits again and creates the superior pancreatic duodenal artery, or the SPDA.
There is also a branch of the superior mesenteric artery that feeds the pancreas. It's called the inferior pancreatic duodenal artery, or the
PDA,
IPDA.
and the IPDA feeds parts of the pancreatic head and the uncinate process. There are multiple branches of the splenic artery that feed the pancreas, including the great pancreatic artery.
These branches feed the pancreatic body and tail. A dorsal pancreatic artery also feeds the lower portion of the body. So that's how the blood gets there. But what about back to the heart?
Oh.
That's where the veins come in.
Oh,
The blood returns back to the heart to pick up more blood through the pancreatic vein. Yeah. The pancreatic vein drains the pancreas into the superior mesenteric vein and the splenic vein.
interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pancreas on a cellular level. The endocrine portion of the pancreas is made up of cells with a funny German name, the islets of Langerhans. They're classified by their secretions.
The alpha cells secrete glucagon. The beta cells secrete insulin. The delta cells secrete somatostatin. The gamma cells secrete pancreatic polypeptide. Each one of these hormones have a specific job to do.
The glucagon increases glucose, and the insulin decreases the glucose. Somatostatin stops and regulates the alpha and beta cells. The polypeptide is made of 36 amino acids and serves as a self-regulator for the secretion activities of the endocrine and the exocrine systems.
The exocrine cells are positioned in clusters called
Acini! Each hormone secreted by these cells is specialized to digest something specific. Amylase breaks big sugar into little sugar.
lipase breaks big fat into smaller fat.
Ribonuclease and deoxyribonuclease are enzymes that digest nucleic acid. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase are protein-digesting enzymes that break down amino acids.
Yep. Now I know we mentioned ducts, and I know you were all sitting on pins and needles in anticipation to know what role the ducts play in the functioning of the pancreas. Well, here it goes.
The main pancreatic duct is the duct of Wirsung, another funny German. Man, those Germans really love their pancreas.
Look at it.
This duct connects the pancreas to the common bile duct or the CBD, another thing I mentioned earlier in the anatomy of the pancreas. Well, here it is. This duct supplies the pancreatic juice used in aiding digestion. The pancreatic duct joins the common bile duct just before the ampulla of Vater.
The ampulla of Vater are teeny tiny sphincters or muscles that contract tightly. There are multiple sphincters that control the flow of bile and pancreatic juices through the ampulla. At the entrance to the duodenum is the sphincter of Oddi. It controls the introduction of pancreatic juices and bile, but it also prevents the contents of the duodenum from entering the pancreas, because nobody wants that all inside the pancreas.
It's yucky. The second duct found in the pancreas is not found in everybody. Some people have it and some people don't, which is okay, because the duct is non-functional. It connects directly to the duodenum with no sphincters.
So you want to know more about the function of the pancreas? After all, that's the important thing, right? So like we said earlier, the endocrine function is to control the glucose levels in the bloodstream. But how exactly does such a small, weird-looking organ manage to do that? As mentioned before, it produces insulin and glucagon to aid in this goal. Why is blood glucose so important? With some exceptions, glucose is the primary source of energy for the body's cells. Without insulin, the body would not be able to absorb the glucose into the blood to feed the rest of the body. And without the glucagon, the body would not know when it has enough sugar.
Crazy. Good stuff. We've talked about what's normal with the pancreas, so let's talk a little about what's not supposed to happen. At the top of the list is diabetes, which is usually the first thing anybody thinks of when they hear insulin. But like we learned already, insulin is something that your body produces naturally and you definitely need. So why do people get insulin injections when they have diabetes? Well, we learned that insulin decreases the amount of glucose in your blood, right? People need injections of insulin because their bodies do not secrete enough of it, and it doesn't know when to stop releasing glucose.
No matter what type of diabetes you have, it is because there is too much glucose in your blood. I like that we both go like that. But that's just one little thing that can go wrong with the hormone secretions of the pancreas. What about pancreatitis?
Which means that your whole pancreas is inflamed for one reason or another. Pancreatitis can range from acute to chronic, which means that it's been like that for longer than 3 to 6 months. Usually this is caused by not taking care of your body or drinking too much.
Sam. Too much what?
Booze.
Oh, there are several different types of cancers, most commonly adenocarcinoma.
Yeah.
How could we say these earlier? Adenocarcinoma are tumors that exhibit glandular structures and are usually found in the exocrine portion of the pancreatic head. 95% of all pancreatic cancer is adenocarcinoma.
Wow.
And the prognosis is usually dim due to late detection. You see, pancreatic cancers are usually incidentally found. By the time it hurts, it's usually too late.
Not everything is so black and white though. You can also develop cystic lesions of the pancreas. Most pancreatic cysts are non-cancerous. These usually don't hurt anyone, and most of the time they won't kill you. In fact, most people never even know that they're there. You can also be born without a pancreas, even though it's extremely rare. It's called pancreatic agenesis, and unfortunately, most people don't survive without a pancreas.
Which is why it's rare. People are born without it, so usually probably die.
So, that was everything we know about the pancreas, and I hope you learned a little bit something too.
So if you have any questions, don't ask us because we didn't cover it here. I don't know much about it.